The Power of Discipline, a story of the relentless climber. It was a crisp morning atop the Andes, where the peaks glistened with the first rays of sunlight. Alejandro, a passionate but unpolished mountaineer, stood gazing at Aconcagua, the tallest peak in South America. It was his dream to conquer it. But Alejandro wasn't the most talented climber. In fact, his first few expeditions had ended in failure. He'd slip, lose focus, or underestimate the mountain's demands. "I'm just not made for this," he would mutter as he packed his gear in defeat. But Alejandro had something deep within him, a spark of determination fueled by a piece of advice his mentor had once given him. Talent might set the stage, but discipline finishes the performance. The decision to commit. One day, after another failed attempt, Alejandro decided enough was enough. He realized he wasn't failing because he lacked strength or stamina. He was failing because he lacked discipline. "I'll become relentless," he resolved. "Every step I take will be a step in the direction of success." From that day, Alejandro's life changed. He built a routine like clockwork. At 4:30 a.m., his alarm would ring, and he'd lace up his boots, regardless of rain, cold, or fatigue. He practiced climbing on smaller peaks, perfecting his footing, pacing, and breathing. He researched relentlessly, studying the weather patterns, oxygen levels, and every possible risk. Facing the mountain months turned into a year, and the time had come. Standing at the base of Aconcagua once more, Alejandro felt ready, not because he was confident, but because he was disciplined. The first few days of the climb were grueling. The icy winds bit at his face, and the air grew thinner with each passing hour. On the fourth day, as he climbed a treacherous ridge, a storm rolled in unexpectedly. His team advised him to turn back. Alejandro paused, the wind howling in his ears. He thought about his training, his preparation, and his commitment. "I didn't come this far to quit," he whispered to himself. But discipline isn't just about pushing forward recklessly, it's about making the right decisions. He waited out the storm, conserving his energy, staying sharp, and reminding himself that the summit wasn't a place, it was a process. The summit finally, on the 8th day, Alejandro reached the summit. Tears streamed down his face as he stood atop the world, his heart pounding not just from the altitude but from the overwhelming pride of what he'd accomplished. This wasn't a victory born from sheer talent or luck. It was the result of disciplined effort, day after day, week after week. Alejandro realized in that moment that the mountain hadn't been his greatest challenge. He had, and by mastering himself, he had mastered the climb. The lesson. When Alejandro returned home, he shared his story with anyone who would listen. "Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality," he would say. "It's not about grand gestures, it's about the small, consistent actions you take every single day. Dreams demand commitment, and commitment demands discipline." That day, Alejandro's story became more than an anecdote. It became a beacon of hope for everyone who felt stuck or inadequate. People started applying his lessons to their own mountains, whether it was in their careers, relationships, or personal goals. So what's your mountain, and are you ready to climb it with the discipline it demands? Because, like Alejandro, you have everything you need. All it takes is that one decision to keep going, step by step, day by day. The summit is waiting. Are you?